All right, today we're going to be watching New York versus Toronto Ultra. I didn't watch anything yesterday. It was Mother's Day yesterday. Shout out to all the moms. If you have one, maybe that's single, have them hit up Maven. It was also our anniversary yesterday, so we were celebrating that. But as you can see here, Ultra 6-1, they end up winning this. New York 3-4. Not a great stage for New York, so they have the 5th seed. But yeah, let's jump into the game. I know there was some drama around this. I know there's some shit talk in this. I know there's some throws in this. I know there's just a whole lot of stuff going on throughout this match, so I'm excited. All right, so we're playing some Vista. Both teams only played it once. Good time here for New York, though. You don't have good spawns for P3, P4. Just gotta get this time while you can. Are you gonna get 25? Instant rotate. Yeah, another good start for New York here on rotation. Don't have good spawns for the next couple of hills, but you just take all this time. Did a great job of at least contesting a couple players, but they haven't been able to sniff even close to this hard point yet. Scrap spawns out there, and there we go. I think now they know they have spawns. Could have been a little weird. And the last one standing turns into essentially a 1v1 between Scrap and the heady's nuts. That's what makes P1 and P2 so tough to break. Well, really P2. All right, on 6, Envoy's on rotation. We got what, 10 seconds left. And watch that number 6. He's lurked back here. I think he's hunted. Get 2 though. This allows his team to work up the map. You look at this. You 2 spawn out due to that play. Then they find Sky. So great job by Ultra. Flip over the spawns, but Subliners very quickly off of their off spawns right in through the front door, and it's the SMG. But you don't have hill control. All of a sudden, it's again a tug of war game. Backside of the Hardpoint versus Toronto. Then it's New York, and once more, we've got 30 seconds to fight. So New York do a really good job here, like at this P3. Like once these spawns come out, they just play hill. Like look at this. You have 3 players here. Not saying this is the wrong play by Ultra, right? You want these spawns, but they hunt down this player. Problem is, it's only inside on the hill, and they just flood. They get flooded. I mean, you can fight from the hill, no problem. It's not the easiest break. They kind of just play from the hill to start. Then they break the spawns from there, so. With a lot of focus over towards rotation 4. And that is a beautiful break coming in from the Subliners. 2 players spawned out. You're able to execute a Sib's gonna get spawns off that. And Sib is getting it done even with the Renetti in hand. Hydra winning rotation. Clean kill feed, all yellow for the Subliners. Starting to run away with this game, and with the control that they currently have on the map, they know exactly where the Ultra are coming from. Final 5 over. Oh, he's there. Off the rotation. Oh, that's unlucky. I mean, considering he's had no hardpoint time, he's the one who's supposed to be just kind of roaming, finding openings, and there's just none to be found anywhere on the map. Just haven't had spawns, and one time they had spawns, they got smoked. The Bulldog double for him, turns to try to find Envoy, but the elimination is perfect from Hydra. Scrap, the last one standing, does get chased down. But yes, good thing for Ultra. I don't believe there's any streaks yet, so there's no crews. Ultra gonna fight for the final 15, but this is gonna be another rotation won by the Subliners. And yeah, you're pretty late here if you're Ultra. It's been a 14-9. The SMGs are dominating for New York as we see the points go to right around a 100-point gap. Toronto just getting. I mean, again, just late on rotation. So far, so good for New York. Just the slaying is very one-sided. I know this is gonna be a crazy comeback, but pretty surprising to me because New York looked great on this map so far. This has been another full 60 hole from the Subliners, and now they can chain it over to 170 points through first 5. That is unreal. And kind of a do or die moment, but I mean, with the score the way it is, and the Bulldog on 5, we got to see how the Subliners are feeling with listening with it. All right, so you're finally in the hill. First is Ultra. You're winning some mid-map ones behind the ARs. Well, that's 8 kills in a row, 9 kills in a row. Finally, just mid-map, going the way of Ultra. Scrap's just kind of roaming on this rotation. Sib's able to catch him. And this is what we've seen. For some reason, this second P1, it just feels like it always turns into like 40 or 50 points. Insight's on a 5er now. That's good comms there from somebody. Insight's one off a streak. Insight wins it. So he's got the streak. Does he use it right away? May not need to. Well, what was that route there by Scrap? Did he spawn there? Wow, so they spawn both sides here. So like you have 1 player here, 2 players down here. Somehow you get a free pinch. Someone dies, right? Hydra dies. Like number 5 spawns here, 6 spawns here. This is a free pinch, but where does Hydra's spawn here. So Hydra's basically gonna call out like, yo, they're gonna be flipping, but at this point, what, 2 are dead? Hydra's probably gonna die off spawn again. That's pretty hard to read. Yep, and then they just got a free pinch. So map plays out, and now you get a full map control. Oh, so you do have a streak. Kismet did get one. Okay, Kismet's got a cruise. That's really tough, and that's just 4 dead. So what just happened here? We use this cruise. We use the cruise. We get a pick up top behind Skies. And then what? The next couple. I guess you don't really have anyone that close. Skies is the first one. He doesn't have to play this. I guess it's a tough spot. He could play on like the other side of the hill. But I guess he's worried that he's going to get shot from this way. Like, I mean, he is saying last guy P1. It just looks like that's just really unlucky. Just jumped up on a fucking bar. And they are dead. Spawns are great. Yeah, I mean, the most part on this map, they get a little mixy, but rarely do we see like splits like that. I feel like still have what, a 50-point lead, but it was 129. So what, through 2 hills you got 49 to 129. So is that 80 points through 2? And you use the cruise.
Together 5 to 1 to 2, and a chance here at bar on 3 to
wow.
Make it even closer.
Okay, so does inside die here? So this is from the old one. The old hill rotation then. All right, you see 7 dies. So because you have 3 players here, well, really 4 on this side of the map, it kind of, I guess, is the game's blocking this spawn. You do have scrap all the way in the back here, but it's just saying, yeah, they're overloaded on this side. It's spawning them out. So insight, this isn't the wrong play. He's going to use it. He's going to use the cruise. It's kind of like, I'm out of the play. Yo, scrap, stay alive. Everyone just try to play a life. And before he calls it in, it's going to be 3 dead. Oh, boy. So they lose spawns here. So inside turns here. I think inside should maybe just stay bridge, right? It might be crazy because he doesn't want to lose spawns, but I wonder if he just stays bridge there. I wonder if with scrap here, Kleenex here, and I wonder if inside stays bridge if they would spawn out here towards lower, or at least all the way back here. To really, just rarely do you see like a P3 where you have this much map control. I guess, yeah, where 1 would spawn. They're gonna lose spawns. Yeah, I feel like if inside stays there, that might be like a full 60. But big break for New York. They get the spawns as well. Just do the map pressure up through mid. Nice recovery.
Stuck, Jamie. I got stuck.
Tower and top. Must be tower steps. Oh, absolute.
Huge right behind Skies.
One stage, stay sim.
Timing mid as well.
Wait, when?
Done in tower steps, 1 top plat, 1 stage.
Tower steps, 1 top back plat.
Just one, I give us a slow down.
This is the problem with this, on this hill, at least from what I'm watching here. See where 6 is spawning?
1 stage.
7 should also be spawning there. I mean, they should be spawning out, and they're not. So, like, the pressure is kept up here at this P4.
Just one, I give us a...
Let's watch number 5's in a spawn here, too. I guess because you have this... I guess because 8's here, now number 5's here. Like, they should be pushing through the middle of the map, and they're just getting, like, this free pressure. Like, look at this setup from New York. You haven't been able to push through middle of the map because there's always been, like, 1 more. I mean, they're obviously reading this. Like, you see the position of number 4 and number 3. Like, they realize this is a spawn, which is good reads by them. But game's a bit unforgiving. There we go. Nice recovery. Now you can get pushed out. They're going to give this up. So we're at 242. We don't get 8. Okay. All right, we get a P5 rotation, right? Ultra just invests very early. Skies is on 5.
For Skies off the pinch, it's just the focus for Toronto. A couple of decent moments there between 1 and 2, but largely speaking, still struggling to get a handle on this map. Back and forth go the kills. And that's another 8 seconds needed here for New York. Kismet trying to secure it himself, but unable to. Insight's double opens up space for Toronto to
okay, so big kills by Ultra. Just you finally get them like out of P1.
This off cleanly and get the clean rotation into 1. Maybe we see.
All right, now they're back into P1. They're gonna get angles on the hill. You kind of see number 7 in inside reposition.
Envoy from up top. They were able to flip these spawns. They breached that 200-point mark, and now they have an opportunity to still be in this game. Insight with 2 minutes in Hill, but you need another flawless hold at P1 to keep it.
Kismet's got 31 and 216. Jesus, and we're losing this.
Trying to come up from the front side, but Toronto perfectly holding, at least for now. Scrap able to reduce the presence from Kismet. Hydra down low can really only do so much from this position. The flood in through mid is still looking good for Toronto. They've got a really good read on this. So again, here we go. Toronto in a good position. New York trying to get around the back.
This is a great read by Insight.
That's gonna make a break.
Oh God, he had it.
The timing on to Insight. Scrap with the double through the hill. Still keeps the opportunity alive for Ultra. They get all 4 dead in the feed. They are.
Hold on here. You get this kill. You have one on the hill.
Break the Subliners right here. Please hide.
This is gonna sound crazy. I think if you do this again, if you're in New York, you just have to wait for Hydra
Trying to
here.
get around the back.
And this is the route.
I think Kiz goes first. I think you, because listen, if Hydra goes first here, right, wins this gunfight, which he does. Look at Scrap here. He's looking this way as well. If this gunfight happens before this one, Scrap stays. If this gunfight happens first, Scrap stays. But the problem is, as soon as 3 Kismet starts this, watch what 5 does. 5's going to turn and help. Scrap's going to turn and help right away.
This is the rest.
He turns.
Gonna make a break the Subliners right here.
2 pieces. If Hydra's gunfights first, now I'm not saying this changes anything. There's still the trades. There's still 6. Envoy's still here, but I think you wait on Hydra there.
On to Insight. Scrap with the double through the hill. Still keeps the opportunity alive for Ultra. They get all 4 dead in the feed. They are potentially gonna steal map 1 right now.
New York has to hit this thoroughly from the front, trying to play over the middle of the map as well, but last 8 seconds are coming through. Kleenex over the
Wow, good shots.
Works out. Kismet gets at least a 1-for-1 trade, but is
Wow.
one more hit coming out of Sim, and it's Kleenex doing his namesake. Wipes up the floor on the front side of the hardpoint in Toronto. Don't just get an extra lease on life. They turn it into a miracle.
I think there's a couple of things to be. I think the cruise on P2. All right, you get the first 2 kills. You don't break P2. That was a big moment. I honestly thought they played P3 and P4 pretty well on New York, right? I mean, that's how they get the last like 30 or so of their points. 40 points is that P4 break. The P5 was, they had spawns. Honestly, Ultra just played that really well through the middle of the map. That P1 is just tough. But I think those are the 2 big ones for me. I will tell you what, one thing I would be really excited about if I was Ultra is the Insight's play out of this. Insight and Scrap had a lot of multi-kills in that, but I don't think we've seen a great Insight since stage 1. And versus the top 4 team, this I think is a good showing before we go to the major. So look at this. You get 60 points here at this P1, which brings them close. This is where you use that cruise. You only get 9 points using the cruise. Okay, P3 is a tough break, but you only give up 30 points here. They do a really good job at P4. They almost get 50 points. So they do a good job recovering without having P3 and P4 spawns. And then, yeah, they could never break P5. They just really couldn't get on it. But then, yeah, well, P1 again. The 2 P1s for Ultra are, what, 204 to 250? That's 46. 49 to 105. That's another 50. Like, you're getting 100 points there. So 2 great P1s for Ultra. All right, so we get Invasion. That's sort of like New York's bread and butter here. Has been for a lot of the year. Well, how many times have they played Invasion Search on the year? What, 10 times? They've only played Karachi more. Played most of the time. It's vetoed. An Invasion Control, a lot of the times versus the top 4, you're just going to see Invasion Controls. They're going to opt for that. Get a Karachi Hardpoint, which Ultra's going to be excited for. I mean, this Vista, veto this Rio. Most teams are going to get rid of Rio versus New York. The only team that's not is going to be FaZe, obviously. So then it's just kind of where do you want to go from there? New York, go for a sub-base veto. I don't hate that. They've had a lot of close games on it, but I think that's probably smart for the Hardpoint. Yeah, it just feels like, I mean, that could have been a win. They could have played 6-star here. That was the other option where they're 1-0. What's Ultra on 6-star? 1-1. So you could have opted for 6-star. I mean, again, they probably should have won that Vista, but it looked good. Search veto, high rise, search veto, Karachi veto. We're playing Invasion. Ultra's 5-3 on that. And they picked that. And then 6-star, have they played it all? They're 1-0. New York is 0-1. Actually surprised. Maybe the fact that they're 5, and maybe most teams just veto this versus Ultra. I'm assuming because they haven't been a great search team since like Skid Row has been out. Right on the year, just the other one is Karachi, or they're 7-4. Yeah, that's gonna be the The real just question for Ultra is going to be around their search.
See how things unfold. Scrap will be the sole B defender to start. 3-man hit for New York, at least set up towards this direction, but the
that's just a good nade.
3-man hit for New York.
Nade hits.
Set up towards this direction, but the nades land and Scrap finds 2 bullets to find first blood.
We're not going to go over towards B. They already have a lot
Just
of
through mid-tank.
They have no idea that Toronto are currently in Cafe.
Yeah, there's not a lot they could do.
I feel like you'd have to know, right? Oh, no, you don't. I guess you don't.
And that would be the cost.
Actually, if, like, yeah, assume if I was playing, if you have like mid-tank control, I think you would just have to assume there's somebody inside a Cafe. Because defense is either playing from Cafe, Courtyard. I guess after the first blood, maybe they're thinking they're just playing all the way back. I mean, it starts with that first blood there for Ultra.
It's not just him. Sib is also watching this really close corner cross. Toronto trying to teamwork this out. 1-for-1 would be fine for Kismet, but does not expect the quick push. And Toronto once again secure first blood.
First blood out of Ultra. They have been struggling in that column, so Finals to try to make a play. Hydra tries to push through Cafe. Fortunately, gets caught off.
Yeah, I mean, both of your subs try to make plays here. You try to make one through DVD. You try to make one after you lose that first blood. Trying to get active.
A little while longer than maybe Toronto would like, but
and that's a situation where if you're Kleenex, you just got to play around your team. You can't back up and go all the way towards the deep flank area. He eventually gets caught, and then Skies with the beat down.
All right, let's rewatch this. You have a 3-on-2, or is it a 4-on-2? It's a 4-on-2, right?
Forcing the subliners to try to make a play. Hydra
Where's the first pick?
Fortunately gets
Weak, or did he just get fucking melted?
But now you are forcing the subliners to try to make a play. Hydra tries to push through Cafe. Fortunately gets caught off guard with great shots.
Not the best death, but at least you get some info out of it. You'd love to just rather have this to be a 3-on or a 4-on-2.
Maybe Toronto would like, but like you mentioned, guys hoping to gather information from that top sandbags position, unable to find too much.
So like you can see what they're worried about, right? Kleenex is worried about a B flank. What that opens is mid tank, and I feel like a lot of the times mid tank's like the most important position around it. You can watch through mid cut. You can see this courtyard push. As soon as this is gone, I mean, you see this player leave. They just go right through mid. Insight's worried about like an A street push with the player on the bomb. You could wait this out longer if you are Scrap and Ultra, because he gets caught on the bomb. You could just wait, bait a peek. Like you see the shots come in from Kiz, and Skies is thinking, let's get him off this bomb right away. Just hit a timing. I mean, you just have no help here. Kleenex is like watching across here. Insight's watching street. There's just nobody on the bomb to help him.
That doesn't give you much of an idea.
You literally have no help.
Pistol out, Scrap will drop.
You go into that setup when you have the bomb planted. Like, once the bomb's down, this guy gets off the bomb, maybe plays inside a cafe. That's a post plant. Like this, you have to get this bomb down. Like,
and trade not there, and now we've
it's a really, honestly, it's just a bad round on Ultra.
That same double setup over towards Cafe is now going to extend a bit.
That's a B street guy.
Deep over
you have a ton of pressure though.
But the B defender and Scrap has dropped, so now you got to go quickly and try to shut this down. And Skies gets a whiff of it, sniffs it out, finds the kill. 4v2 situation with New York working on the plan.
Where the hell are the rest of the subliners? Because time is starting to get away from you.
And for the subliners, they know that
wasting time. Good job by Skies.
All the way through courtyard.
This dude has just wasted
Skies, but not giving him the time of day. So now
10 seconds.
play on towards the bomb site. Here comes Envoy, pistol out.
I mean, he's still alive.
Immediate trade. Insight still dancing with Skies, and this is a tango that is going to see Toronto.
That was an insane round by Skies. He just wasted fucking 30 seconds.
And well,
hello.
Listen, we have had some awful first blood deaths on this map. We had we've had nades, we've had cross shots now. What are we doing?
And then potentially play for the second.
Again, when you're down a man, right, on defense, you just have to find some info here. Try to figure out where this push is coming from and take a risk. The risk is just be street.
Yeah, this is big. Ultra being able to clear out mid-tank gives them
this is good patience from Ultra.
Confirmed on A.
But again, we're giving up. It's every time we go for his bomb plant.
Now all of a sudden the flank becomes a bit.
Are we going to get it down now? And now we have 3 all the way through?
Set up for the water side street, but they don't expect Kismet taking the long route behind. Things once again start
I'm gonna cry.
For Toronto's post plant setup. It's just down to Envoy for a 1v3. It's been on 4 in a row, and this stun's gonna lock him into place. The shots through the wall are
these are ugly. Okay, so we have somebody watching A Street. We're waiting, like we know something could happen. The problem here, you'd probably want Kleenex around mid tank. Instead of the bomb, because a guy mid tank again can watch the connector, can watch courtyard, and if he has to, he can turn around and help. So what happens?
After being able to clear out mid tank gives them.
We start to rotate. As soon as we start to rotate the bomb off of mid tank, Guess what? It's a 2-man hit on the number 5. He gets isolated, and now you have no flank info.
A very free pathway to get this bomb confirmed on A. But
You have 0. So now maybe what the call is, look at this. 7 is watching this cross, doesn't see 3 cross who already pushed it. Because he doesn't see this, they're thinking Hydra's going to wrap back through connector. So they never even watch the flank.
Hydra through DVD. That's going to slow down the play for this A hit, because now all of a sudden the flank becomes a bit of an issue. Envoy trying to get this thing planted, set up for the water side street, but they don't.
Not a great couple of attack. I mean, both winnable attack rounds. Very winnable.
You're never gonna catch.
We'll reveal that Insight's nearby, but this is all about seeing if New York can give plate and get this 6th kill.
Kisman's literally crawling up.
Insight badly.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's gonna do. But I don't
Yeah,
know if
see him?
he's gonna be at least able to spot him on that jump cross. He's playing this a little bit aggressive. Went from a bulldog to a caterpillar. He's just crawling his way up. Finally, he's gonna pop that dead silent. Takes the
That is
timing on the
insane.
inside. Cruise missile now earned. All of Subliners have Water Street and now Ultra.
I love it.
Between a rock and a hard place.
On Sid through mid-map.
But again, look at this, right? Look at the difference between this. Obviously, they take A Street away. So once you take A Street away, you can all focus on different things, but they're not even worried about the flank. Their main focus to get this bomb down is, again, mid-tank. That is where their player is. They're not even worried about the pinch. They have 0 worry. Mid-tank, mid-tank, mid-tank.
Stuck between a rock and a hard place.
And now we can trade out for mid-tank.
Also makes sure
Now we're watching the flank.
kept honest. Just down to Envoy again, moving rapidly over towards the front.
Love the Kismet plays, though. All right, you seeing the cross here if you're Hydra. Getting some info.
Has made a play
Aggressive
through
2-man
this
play.
gap
We've seen this
position
out of these
before,
two.
but that's only when there's a reveal over towards this B side of the map, and New York are trying to maybe allow that play for Hydra again, which it does at least turn into something, but first blood maybe allow.
So when does he go? So you're just getting this info.
New York are trying to maybe allow that play for Hydra again, which it does.
I feel like if you're New York, if you know Hydra's going to go, I feel like instead you should just play safe B, right? Or at least have this cross, because really what your focus is this, right? So you're kind of, it's a give and take. We're going to give up maybe some B street control, and we're going to push up this way because we have this info. I feel like if you just have a connector guy, if you know Hydra wants to get aggressive, a connector guy kind of watch this cross, maybe somebody on this back, or you could play from the B bomb, and then you have 2 hit, and it's sort of just like, it's almost like a full pinch. You're just giving up the B street, and then what you're gonna end up doing is kind of collapsing on the B street.
That play for Hydra again, which it does at least turn into something, but first blood once again tallied by Toronto, and they've got full clearance and a deep post plant.
Yeah, see, the problem is now that, right? You've given up B, which is okay, but it's a 3-on-3, and you don't have this spot. Like, I think you would love to have this spot. Now you have so much to clear, but you do have a cruise. That helps.
Get the info on how they're playing their setup. You're gonna force a couple players in towards ice cream, so Scott's gonna have his hands full on that side of the map.
Oh, and Envoy does drop, so
yeah, that helps.
You know exactly where this post plant is set up.
Cruz bails him out.
And on top of that, the Cruz connecting onto Envoy, pivotal.
Yeah. So if you allow Hydra to get 1 more kill and that Cruz was earned, that's basically GG.
Yeah, pretty much. Ooh, Sid pops the door open right into the face of Envoy. Not expecting the gunfights. Just a quick smoke cover and try to get the bomb planted, but Toronto are all over it. First 2 kills go their way. Surely they don't drop a 4v2. Surely they don't drop a 4v2. Shots are decent for Kismet. Pushes forward. He's done his job. Now it's just down to Skies to fulfill the other part of this 4v2 situation. Gets the first. There's isolation here.
2 HP.
Not
Yeah.
gonna be able to get the regen, though.
I mean, it's a switch up around here out of New York. Just a quick A plant.
Oh my god. Puts himself on.
The only problem is like
Pops the door.
this initial defense, right? The strength of the defense is because you have number 6 here. Everybody else like is kind of hard collapsed and focused on this. So that's just info. Once Envoy gets in the back DVD, they just have so much. But you have the 5-1 lead on an offense. Try to go for a quick plant. Comes down to a 1v1.
Oh my. The door puts. I would have still have been able to play your man up advantages correctly.
Okay, Kismet and Sid playing aggressive here.
Almost every single round defensively. This time Kismet.
This has not worked. Has not worked. Again, you're getting aggressive with Hydra.
Yeah, maybe the same setup for New York. Almost every single
So
round.
I assume, right, he's watching this cross again. Okay, so yeah, this is almost like their default, right? You're watching the cross, and I think Hydra, as long as he sees, so you see this player here, they're starting to shoot. As long as he sees 1 or 2, I think he's thinking about going, right? Like, he's just going to go. He wants to hunt this guy because he's thinking, there's at least 2 here. I'm going to try to isolate this one.
This has been the same setup for New York.
We've seen
Almost
2.
every single round.
He plays a little bit slow because he doesn't know where 5 is, right? Scrap, he has no clue. And I think this is the same thing. As soon as he sees multiple cross, I just think it's smarter to play sort of a... If he's going to make plays, same thing. Like, let him get this kill. Maybe then once he gets the kill, you get aggressive through connector and broken. But it just feels like this isn't working.
Defensively, this time Kismet Yeah, maybe a little bit too bold. But you've got a lot of rounds to play with. I love the idea of just throwing a curveball, but
He's gonna get a kill again.
And Hydra once again. This has been conditioned and expected from Toronto.
Oh, it doesn't get a kill.
No exit for Hydra either here on this long flank. And Scrap may walk into a crossfire here if he's not careful. Hot nade cook for Skies. Unfortunate trade out for Sid, but his position revealed.
Hello?
Tries to slip away. Now the pistol is out, throwing shoulders. No way. Tries to get to the regen.
These Ultra rounds on offense have been very scary.
What? 6 first bloods.
Oh my god. They got 6 first bloods and they're losing 5-3.
I'm sure one of those plays that you
Smack me in the face, chat. All right.
Trying to play aggressive through Cafe and in towards Broken. Not often you'd expect that. New York.
Has a B defense aggression worked yet? I don't think so.
Gonna get some nade success over towards B. No trophies down here for Toronto. They have to wait to cross, and while they do so, Clinic.
Listen, I don't mind risk and risk taking. However, there has been like 0 B success here from either team. The only success we've had has been we're getting a first blood for free. I don't know if this is just both teams trying out different things for the major, which could very well be. We're down 5-2, 5-3, 5-1, so let's hit things. Or just normally we see this aggression if like we're losing B too often. Nobody really has.
First blood good for New York, 4v3, and some extra patience here for the Subliners before they approach a site.
And I promise you, for everyone that plays Invasion, Search, and Destroy in ranked play, the worst thing you can do is die in the first 15 seconds, because then if everyone else at a stalemate,
thank you.
To slow down and try to get a read on it, and now with 3 players from
right, you now have to play a risk.
Side, no one is going to be.
All right, who's going to be the risk taker? It's going to be Scrap this time. Maybe him and Insight try to find a pick.
One direction.
All Skies, bomb in hand, nearly isolated. Scrap.
Yeah, and these players on New York are playing really. They're just worried about the pinch, right? They don't want anything to happen. So now though they get info on 2, and they're immediately just like, all right, we're going B.
Envoy is only here to be responsible for the cross. This is taking time for New York. Wow, this is taking way too much time for New York. So all of a sudden, what was a free first blood essentially in the first 15 seconds turns into a 2v2 with 15 seconds on the clock. Shots from Scrap are decent, but things reset. No bomb in hand still. Hydra. It's just down to the 1v1 between Sim and Insight. Which
I mean, both teams are doing it, man.
We saw it a little bit in map number 1, the insane comeback.
Okay, sort of the same thing. The only difference is it's a double cafe. You're playing safe. So number 3 was looking at that cross. That was kids watching the cross the DVD in B Street. Only spots 1 though.
Lots of early nades have already been used for Ultra trying to get some information at mid. A lot of it not really landing.
Yeah, this is normally what you typically see, right? Like when we go to land, sort of 1B. This guy mid tank, what he's gonna do, he can help back through connector. This guy is kind of helping him. This is the one guy who can be really, he can go back and forth, right? He can either play this wall and help mid if number 3 wants to watch the cross towards A bomb, or he can just stay A street. So this is typically your more default setup.
Maybe what they need is he sets up for maybe a play towards B.
Yeah, he's just clearing a lot of space right now. No one pushed out Ultra's broken, so he's giving all that info to his teammates. That
all right, Kismet's
Kismet's
thinking this is going to be a B hit.
And potentially work this objective.
All right, he's just kind of rotating.
But you know how the Subliners always play. Those tacks are going to be in the back pocket, ready for that push to come over towards B.
And a lot of this for Toronto is do they get...
There's some nade info, so Kismet's going to go back towards B. Some more nade info.
Here comes the play forward.
Number 1's going to reposition because of the nade info.
Very nervy about this.
And this is what I was talking about, right? So this player... So you've thrown nades over towards B. Now you have Kismet who's wrapped through. He's going to play sort of this B defense. You backed up number 1 Hydra because if Hydra is by himself, doesn't have Kismet looking over him, he can't play mid-tank. He's got to instead back up because he can flank from connector. This way, he can watch connector and if they hit mid-tank. And then what this is, this transition from River Street, is instead of him focusing here, he can now help Hydra if there's a mid-tank hit, or he can pick up A street. So it gives you a lot of options off this rotation. They just don't know where the push is coming in from yet.
But Sid gives himself up. Follow up from Hydra mid-map. He's trying to get... Hydra wins a key second. Bomb now down. Smoke carrier also out of the picture. 18 seconds on the clock. Scrap gonna recover the bomb. Sees Skies at range. Even battle. Follow up from Hydra at mid. That will work out. Just down to Insight, and he's stuck on the wrong
Just get a Hydra round to win? Yeah. Big round from Hydra. Now, I don't think it was clean for either team, but especially Ultra on their offense really struggled there. Wow. So invasion control, I mean, 3 attack rounds on both teams. That's really strong.
Very peculiar situation, but Scrap has stayed alive the entire time over towards Water Street.
I think their best game mode throughout the year has been, but start off Search. It's probably like control now.
Party hat happy anniversary.
At least high-rise control.
Will get through, stop the progress of the first tick, and also follow up with good kills through the middle of the map. Envoy tried to turn it around, but not able to do so. And all of a sudden, you've got New York looking at 45 seconds worth of defense left, and they're up through B, up through A. Toronto need to figure out what they want to do here quickly.
Yeah, we need to go to B. We cannot waste a lot of time trying to work our way over.
Just a really good job by Sib and Hydra over towards B side.
Now you just have to get past that 50-yard line and work up some progression because it's only 30 seconds remaining. Sky's going to be the sole defender
And
over
finessing.
towards B. He finds one, and now he's just simply trying to finesse his life, waiting for us to get
Almost had it.
I was expecting a follow-up trade. Tried to break the camera, go up and over the doorway. Doesn't really work.
What do you guys think, chat?
Progress now.
I think it's really interesting.
More on the way is
Do you guys think stuns should do 1 damage? Or do you think they should do 0? Because I always find it really interesting when they delay health regen. Or maybe it's just that they shouldn't delay health regen. But I guess that would be them doing 1 damage. I feel like they shouldn't delay health regen. Yeah, right? They should do 0. Yeah. I think it'd just be interesting to see.
they're kind of an in and out double stack here. Kismet though from the top row.
Bring back to 40. Was that Vanguard?
And now it's just down to how much does New York really want to still commit to this with Toronto reinforcing with numbers now over the top of B.
Yeah, they might not have another opportunity unless Hydra's able to get it.
Sorry, it was a strong start. You give up your 3 ticks. Kismet's already through A street.
Now we have to stand strong on our setup. You already have one player.
You don't know where 5 is. Scrap doesn't know.
Yeah.
Scraps gets right behind him, and he can potentially just push his way right up the street.
Well, the thing about this is Scrap is going to say, hey, the water sheet is
Yeah,
clear.
hello.
And wow, Kismet nearly had a chance to flank behind the AS and D street. Not going to work out. Scrap finds the kill, and now Toronto can get to work trying to
Trophy shouldn't do damages either. That I agree with, yeah.
But Scrap meets him on the exit. Still an opportunity for Toronto to hold some ground front side of this A zone. While
Okay, so this is the problem when you lose A street control, right? Obviously, Kismet was like prone here at the front of the Humvee. Scrap just goes behind him. You give up A street. Scrap's able to work on up. Off of B, you have, you know, 1 player all the way through here. Just look at this setup. Now, I mean, it's not the worst case scenario, right? You still have zone control, but you do not have much space.
Also, simultaneously, Kleenex on 5 is looking for kill number 6 for a cruise missile, but thought he had it in the way of Kismet. He ducks to cover. Hydra secures the kill, and now Toronto
Big kills.
are able to trouble down a couple of
Trade this out. Now you push up the A street.
Yeah, that was such a big kill on the Kleenex. Obviously shutting down that cruise missile, but he was trying to be the playmaker.
All right, now you get Skies there.
Behind enemy lines to potentially set
Comms are probably like, we're looking for Envoy. You know the type of player he is.
With only 20 seconds left, he's just hoping that his teammates find a couple kills through the map. And Kleenex finding a double might find an opportunity for the getting to get on the point. It's going to turn into a one-on-one, but Hydra's dancing with death, able to come out on top in that engagement. Inside falls, and that's going to be a Subliner standing strong on their defense.
How good has Hydra been for this New York team in this kind of resurgence in the last couple of weeks? That is just next level finesse. He gets to 4.
Again, how does this get to this point, though? How does Skies die here? Does he just get double chowed? I guess he's just double chowed.
To potentially set up a pinch. Now
they're so worried about Envoy, and nobody hunts, right? I feel like normally what you would see in this point, I feel like Sib should go hunting so that 3 has more info, because I think 3 is also like, I don't know where this dude is at, but Skies, so 3 can like get out towards the mid tank and help out, or at least like get this player here.
It's gonna fall into the hands of
because once Skies dies, yeah, from Kleenex, Kismet is still inside of DVD, not really helping. They're still just so worried about Envoy here. And then Kismet gets bad timing. And cross guy. So they're able to recover at least.
But New York, with all this pressure through mid, have actually found Sib to slip on into the B.
I deal with this. You only have 1 on B. Ultra now can try to retake this. Gonna put inset up on A street really early. Nice pick by Sib.
Those players. Now you can put your focus over towards B, even though the first segment is already complete. Subliners are already pushed out towards Broken, and they're already finding all the kills in the feed. Second segment about to be complete.
And Hydra even trying to get a little bit further over towards Blue. Stop either any defenders from rotating over to Consist, or maybe catch a couple players off spawn. He's done a little bit of both to this point.
They're trying to go to A?
An unbelievable control to this point. 12 and 6,
They're trying to go
for both of the 2 that we've mentioned. Hydra not done until Envoy steps in front. Kismet not quite able to secure the trade.
Okay, so they just take a little bit of a risk. It almost works out, right? So really what you're trying to do here, you get Hydra pushed up. Again, you're only keeping 1 on the clock for right now, or on the objective to pause the clock, right? Keep that minute as long as possible. Get their lives down as much as possible. We've seen this in past games before.
A couple players off spawn. He's done a little.
You probably don't want, who is that? Skies to die, but Scrap's above Hydra. But I think is that like, because Scrap's here, they're just thinking, let's try to hit this, get over to A as they spawn on up. Maybe you can get 2 players on it. Worst case scenario, we wrap back to B.
Having an unbelievable control to this point. 12 and 6.
So that is it. They're able to find this 1 player. You're just hoping you get, like, maybe Hydra gets a kill. Maybe 1 or 2 on this, you get done with A. Now, the problem, like, why this is a risk, right, is because what could happen is you could deal with this push quickly. You could get B street control. You don't get all 3 ticks. We have seen that hurt teams in the past. You don't get an extension on the round because you're giving up entire map control once you go 3 dead here.
Until Envoy steps in front. Kismet not quite able to secure the trade.
Okay.
Map will make sure this
Skies, though, just rotates back.
Will just rotate in towards B, get the extra 60 seconds.
And you see,
You get the close spawns.
all their attacking rounds. So
that helps.
To show a little bit of presence at B, we're gonna get all these kills and then start to push our way over towards A. Gonna force Ultra to basically give up B for free. Great wall bangs out of Skies, not able to lead to the kill, but inside is definitely bleeding red. Do we decide to send it on me? He does find a kill. The trade is
Ultra's just pretty much hunting. You have Envoy all the way through.
You have to play your life.
Yeah, there's really no reason he tried to overextend in this position. Does catch out CleanX, but
Scraps on 5 in a row.
Able to find the trade without too much concern. New York still trying to force this thing down through the
street.
And Kismet starting to cook up a little bit. 2 in a row for him. Now quickly on this way over towards this front side of shops. Just comes down to, does he get a full read on where Toronto has spawned and how they're trying to hit? And he says, maybe not. Maybe try to hold my ground a little bit longer. But Toronto once again find the kills they need to keep this.
Again, just not a lot of pressure here because you still have A street. So everybody off spawn. Pretty much what Envoy's been holding. You know they're not hitting the front side. Everyone else can focus on the pinch.
Down.
Yeah, that's good stuff. The players coming all spawn. Hold down there, spawn to a T. And at least if you are the subliners, you shut down Scrap off of potentially earning that cruise missile. And now you reinforce your way up to the little map with all the kills going in your favor. Car bombs not treating inside well, but all the map control still in control of Toronto.
Scrap spot right there.
Triggered because he threw a trophy into another trophy. That's just one of those interactions that tickle you a little bit.
They tickle you.
Toronto have not given up even an inch of progress over towards A, and that doesn't look like it's going to change anytime soon, with especially this forward contest over towards Courtyard. New York would have to hit this from Water Street, and without any information and where this defense is positioned, that's not going to feel that good.
I think both teams have had like some chances.
Hydra does get
over towards A.
Kismet drop.
Round 3 completely even, but I think even if we're all tied up with
the comic relief in the midst of what has been a very intense
Thanks everybody for all the partner anniversaries. Appreciate that.
Same double stack over towards this B zone. Same idea. Try to get Envoy up in towards this side of DVD. But
we've been streaming for 12 years.
Nades this time.
As more specifically in Kismet, he's waiting for his teammates to at least work their way up to the map before he decides to strike. But same time he's working.
Damn, you're old.
Doing it on the opposing side.
So are you, because you've been here too.
Hydra to snap, but the enemy was good enough to find a kill as that second segment is about to.
All right, very similar for both teams.
Like for the most part, Toronto just
fighting through B first. We're lagging.
The damage that Skies is laying in towards the spawn of Toronto, though.
And by we, I mean CleanX is absolutely skipping.
But it's not enough to keep them over towards those ice cream spawns, flooding over and over again towards B.
Shout out our COD servers.
In favor of New York. Envoy Scrap trying to work together on the OE, and they will do so. No good.
Unlucky.
That was not intended for Scrap, but a quick turn has him taking down his comrade, and now all of a sudden New York able to utilize the spawn trap.
Okay, Skies is wasting time A street side. Everybody else focuses mid map and B.
Have them absolutely in the blender, and this is where things start to get really deadly. You have to be thinking for Toronto, not much of a chance for us to cleanly actually get looks over towards A, but we do not want to allow Skies to get this cruise missile and aid in the next Subliners offense. Problem is, it's just no good way to chow them as they're still working on.
All right, finally you beat control. Finally get out of this trap.
Hydra at mid map continued to be an issue here though, and life for life. Toronto just keep running out of reinforcements.
This is the invasion blender.
Skies over towards the Water Street side, because if you give them one free kill, cruise missiles are going to be earned, so they're forcing themselves.
Oh, Skies just been chilling.
Him or work that overextension, and that's where the subliners are filling all the gaps at. Consistently slaying over towards that right street. Skies finessing over towards this bridge side. Has Scrap absolutely one shot.
Skies just really wants this missile, dude.
The slaying differential
really a lot. You gotta be kidding me. Okay.
Oh my god.
That's a hell of a way to grab it. So now the cruise missile's been earned, and that slaying count that we were questioning in terms of who's up, well, you don't have to ask the question anymore. 18 plays 6. Skies will eventually drop, but I mean, have even remotely New York pull off a miracle
to walk in favor of 20 seconds. Gotta take it right there for sure if you're that.
Trophy down early as New York, they know what their win condition is. Get these 3 ticks across.
All right, nothing crazy here on invasion control.
At worst.
Both teams doing kind of the same thing.
Decent shutdowns from Scrap. That gets them off the zone as well, keep in mind. Sky's still floating around mid. Make sure that there's no chance for a pinch and off spawn.
Am I a supporter of a team? Not really, no.
because of it. Oh, plus the extra. Skies
I'm a supporter of good COD.
He's looking to get to A, possibly.
All right, same thing. We saw this from New York earlier. Keeping one on it. Try to transition 3.
Hydra follows up for the trade. Maybe a little extra, but wow, New York are flying right.
I mean, I got my favorites, my favorite POVs, some friends that I enjoy watching, but don't really matter to me.
Get one player on this A point. Now you're gonna force a split setup from the Ultra. You can no longer contest towards B.
You have some, well, maybe chances to play through the
But Cruz, again, a street for Ultra. This is where just both teams have kind of struggled. Being done with B and then trying to get just anything over towards A.
Position to try to watch these rotations out of the New York spawn, but he only gets one before dropping, and that's not
Fair POV is Scrap.
a chance to hold on to this beast.
Yeah, he's pretty nuts.
The problem will be getting someone in place to watch.
Nothing too crazy, just an absolute beamer. Just a really good one. This is another good one. Kleenex can be another, like, really just insane one.
Rotation through mid-map for New York. Try to get an eye over towards the A zone. Kleenex inside a cafe. Though not the weapon.
All right, finally some mid-map control to a team.
He has to lock down this rotation. Opening shots from Sir Decent. Envoy able to reduce the numbers of New York defenders from the front, but still, this is a scramble to see who can
just too
control
staggered.
and maybe that kill changes the tides for Toronto.
Maybe Scraps should stay alive. Or Skies.
Inside to find that jump shot onto Hydra. Now you take care of Skies, and now you know
Spawns are unpredictable. On this map, they're pretty predictable. Control for the most part, it's not really many issues.
Take a lot of mid-map control for another push.
Hardpoint at times can be, yeah.
The kill lead for New York. Looks like that should be enough. Maybe one more chance if Sid try to touch this. Yeah, tried for it, but how do you at the same time?
Nothing too crazy so far.
They don't want anything to happen over towards A. 3 players defensively right through Cafe, and now we
Invasion round 5. Wow, Toronto have had 7 of them. New York's only had 1. Actually, that might be a crazier stat. How many times have they played this? They only have 1 round 5? 10 times? Or no, 11 times, and you only have 1 round 5? That might actually be the crazier stat to me.
Most likely going to take the speed capture. We do not want to continuously fall on our side of the base. So that second segment is already going to complete. The third segment of the time is getting extended. Great plays right there.
And that's props to their offense, but also like maybe their defense.
In that headlock setup.
Yeah, Skies just
oh, this guy's gets hunted though. You have 2 players B side.
It's an amazing elimination to allow Toronto to kind of stay away from this trap.
They kind of just avoid Hydra, but I imagine he's gonna pinch here soon, right? Yeah. Hydra's just really far out of this play. Okay. Now they're on the point.
One player's at the point. He's just hoping NCBs can find a couple kills. Scrap at least gets the beat down, but the Subliners
That could have got scary.
With their numbers.
And again, you have to worry about any long pushes in the open areas, possibly being countered out by that cruise.
Big thing for Ultra, there's nobody H street right now. Scrap starts at 30, and here we go. He can collapse. 3 dead, 4 dead.
This is going to be a potential for a stack, but Hydra, he gets a quick spawn and finds 2. That will slow things down for Toronto just a touch.
Okay, so I just talked about the spawns. How does he spawn there? I guess because of...
2 kills for Toronto.
Okay, so 6's position. That's why. I say if Envoy was closer, if Envoy was maybe in Laundry, or maybe here, sometimes you get this spawn, right? Like over towards back blue.
4th one's going to be found. This is going to be a potential first.
Even if it's back parking lot, kind of where they're at now.
Finds 2.
You have a life advantage though. Still a minute. You have map control.
The first player to fall, the first player
to cruise.
And somehow, somebody was able to catch 2 players off that cross.
This just kind of slows things down, but you have 3 inside a cafe.
Continue on forward with it.
Nice kills by Hydra.
Yeah,
nobody A street though. Insight's gonna wrap back into there.
And now only 45 seconds
so you still have good map position to attack this.
You don't want to fall here.
To be 2 dead, and they're not gonna expect 7 there. Nobody's watching the street. You just get caught.
Inside the zone, but the contest for Toronto's a bit labored. There come the kills. Here comes the stack.
Oh no!
This again becomes the biggest nuisance for Toronto. It's just down to a couple.
Oh my gosh!
The last one left alive, and he gets taken down by Sim. Toronto have to reset up.
Okay, before we get to the end of this game, I mean this just simply can't happen though, right? So your 2 players who are out pushed middle of the map get caught. It looks like Hydra just gets caught sprinting here. I think he's just got to hold. He just can't get caught there. That's why it's so scary. He gets caught sprinting right here. And I think he just wants to get into a better spot to maybe to find a kill or 2. But just holding here behind this barricade, I mean, at least get your teammates some info and allows your team some time to help you out. Luckily, they're fine that you bailed out by the trophy, but... I mean, he's 37 and 30. He's have an insane map.
Left. New York only have 6 lives remaining in there.
Again, nobody A Street.
So you need to
12
find
versus
the
6.
creeps if you want to try to get yourself onto this point, but this is their last hurrah.
Only 2 defenders inside the zone. The others for New York. Worried about the overextension.
Oh my God.
Here comes the flood. Skies by himself could do nothing. Trophy system this time gets placed safely. On top of that, it's a 12v2. Toronto looking clear here at A, unless maybe some desperate nades land and popcorn them out of the zone.
Why is it always round 5s? This shit happens every time. So what happens post kills here?
Again, it's the last one left alive, and he gets taken down by Sim. Toronto have to reset.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Kiz Dice trying to get out, and they just feel, I mean, it's 12v6, 20 seconds. They just don't want to get caught running out. You already have insight here. They just have no map control. So your one player out is like Kiz. A tough one. 37 out of Hydra, 39 out of Scrap. Siv's got almost 7,000 damage. 23 on offense as well. That's crazy. All right, we got a map 4. All right, nice kills by Ultra on rotation. Huge win by Envoy. They were kind of like the first ones that I saw in a match. No Cruz. Normally what we see, they were like the first to really show it. If you get this, and I've talked about it, if you get this bridge guy here.
Many minutes later.
On the front end, and unfortunately, the game
Plays and you
I didn't know that was going to happen. That's why this is an hour and 50 minutes. I'm going to assume server problem. Ultra's probably pissed because it seemed like they were lagging in map 3. They didn't get it. Wow, this was a long break, huh? All right, folks, let's do that shit again. Chat, why didn't you guys tell me? Why did I just do that? Why did I just analyze this for 10 minutes? Why did you guys just tell me, like, hey, they reset this? You didn't ask. I didn't know. We're not watching this because of Mother's Day, Joe. Somebody knew. Somebody knew. Rise, this is where the 30-minute break happens. I was waiting for that. Chat, this is our partner anniversary. And all I've been done today is bullied. And now this, I mean, definitely wasn't Mother's Day in the UK. I watched this game.
Happy anniversary, sweet cheeks.
Thank you. I knew but wasn't paying attention, if that helps. Thanks, guys. Hey, Joe, I learned a lot of you breaking down that horror hold for us.
But now Kleenex and Scrap are here.
All right, very clean start here for Ultra. New York do get out. It's the only good thing for them right now.
And now the Subliners need a response here at P3.
You almost get a 3 dead. P dies there. It might be broke. 4-0 for Scrap. Need a response here for New York.
Now Ultra still trying to find a way to set this thing up, and they will actually force New York to spawn out with the pressure coming from all sides at once.
Okay, great play by Envoy.
Helps himself out with the stun. Now to Kleenex, able to break out into the hard point. What a master class of a break for Toronto, and Kleenex almost locks it in. Re-break good for
Good pressure though. So let's talk about this. We've seen this before, right? So the start of this, you get this first kill low that opens up Coop, right? So now you have top 3. You have Scrap in Envoy pushing this way. What this does with this player number 8, this blocks this Coop spawn. So 3 is going to spawn out bus. So this is a really nice read by Envoy. And I think Ultra is going to spawn low, and then just going to start to pressure through the middle of the map.
Now Ultra still trying to find a way to
you spawn low, you spawn out. Envoy's going to read this. As soon as 5 spawns here, Scrap is going to give that calm. He's going to turn and get this double. And really what this is you're playing your one-on-one right here. If you're Envoy, you're just playing your life. You're hoping your team gets a 3-on-2 break.
Will actually force New York to spawn out with the pressure coming from all sides at once. Good read. This is a good setup though for the Subliners. Bridge control plus a little bit of low ground shops means that Toronto has to come all the way around the outside. And wow, how do you not expect that if you're New York? 2 kills.
You're just so far back here. Let's look at this initial setup here for New York. You don't have top 3 control. This guy Bridge is obviously here. 3 is worried about this push. 2 is worried about inside. Everyone's just not really watching much.
Even if we get the first wave of kills, the second wave still needs to be good enough.
This is a good setup though for the Subliners. Bridge control.
Really, if you're Hydra after getting this first one, you'd probably rather go top 3. Maybe he's just thinking 4 is watching middle alley, Kiz is watching this way, Skies is inside. I just think you'd rather be up top, but maybe they don't want to lose Coop spawns here.
A little bit of low ground shops means that Toronto has to come all the way around the outside.
Because now look, like your 2 players on the hill die. And realistically, all you want Hydra to do here is get this player off this hill. Like, I'm not saying losing the hill is a big deal because P4 it's tough to find time, but you don't want them getting time. In Hydra, this is going to take him a few seconds to even get to a spot.
2 kills. Immediately
Zib's going to get focused.
Palms and Kleenex will find the snap to find the kill. Hydra Kismet still trying to work for this break attempt, but it's in.
You have nobody top 3.
Right now, New York is just going one by one.
And you just had nobody top 3.
This game a lot more difficult for them is that you're relying on someone to make a hero play happen so you can lead to a.
I think Hydra's got to get top 3 there. So 86 to 10. You give up 30 there with the initial setup.
Positioning now known, but he's finessing long enough to now have some reinforcements in his back.
All right, Kleenex is going to get 2, and then look at this timing. It's a great play. Old's still up right here, right? So you have these 2 players inside of red. They know they're going to have to deal with this. The Kleenex is working top 3. He's going to die. Who's that? Casey's going to die. Then they're going to kill Hydra, and then it's just collapse. Now, the key here is 7 seconds left, right? So you're still going to spawn Old. With all of these deaths, there's still just so much time left on these hills. So those 2 kills, these 2 players are going to spawn out Old.
Long enough to now have some reinforcements in his back pocket.
Problem is, Kleenex actually
The Old's still up, right? 3 dead now.
out over towards market side, plus the push through.
So say those deaths happen and number 4 is like still here. There's a chance. Now, it's probably pretty rare with this hill, right? You're probably more likely going to spawn over this way. There is a chance, though, if like 4's still alive, you might get some like spawns over here towards P5. But because they die when the hill's still up, adios. I mean, you're just...
Plus the read in terms of how Insight is able to stop
And 8 just spawns mid fountain.
It has to lead to some success, though. You have to find this break on towards P5. Kismet rolls his way on through. Not going to be able to locate Insight, so he's still going to be here to...
Good job by Insight, just wasting time. Again, I think you're probably pretty set. Insight's having a really good respawn series.
Over towards the top of the P1 hill, and so
Envoy figuring out and respawn again. I'd be less worried about Envoy figuring out. Just like finding more consistency. I think he will figure it out.
Yeah, so far so good here for New York, but still desperately they need.
But I think seeing this out of Insight, I think he was insane Major 1 Insight. He was so good for them.
Soko as much as this middle hill time as you potentially can. 2 kills, make it 3, go in favor. All 4.
But even if Envoy has like, let's just say a 0.8, a 0.9, I think Kleenex will pop off. I think there's enough pop off potential to make up for that if Insight's playing well. But yes, you would love to see Envoy find that consistency. I just think there's some just forgiveness running a sub. All right, another P2 setup here for Ultra. They're going to try to push out. They're going to spawn any New York players out. No. Okay, so all 4 are still here for New York, but...
Tries to get into the hard point. Contest is in. Like you said, this gets above 200 points.
This is like a much needed break here, because then you would have Ultra spawning out for P3.
You just can't allow any players to slip on by. You can see
Okay, now on rotation, seems to be cleaner. Sky spawns out though with that death, and now it's a 4-on-3. And again, that one player's playing their 1-on-1. That's Kleenex.
He finds the free breed. You walk right through the middle of the map.
And that's just really it. I mean, Sky's obviously spawns out, but again, this player junk. He was Envoy first time through. This time it's Kleenex. Then once this guy gets this gunfight, they know they just kind of collapse on this.
He's gonna play the cutoff.
They might know Sky spawns out there too. So this setup for New York, you have Sib just playing this, watching top 3. Soon as Sky spawns out, it's a risk, right? What are you not gonna watch? He's watching lower coop. Nobody's watching middle of the map until he gets there.
He finds the free breed. You walk right through the middle of the map. The break is in, and now Kismet has his hands full to play.
The beamer.
Win rotation, but then they find themselves 10.
All right, they recover. It's a good recovery. 4 dead.
There's a better moment of collection.
Honestly, really good recovery. It's very nice.
Now you're going into this P4 HP where you have to play for this whole time.
A good transition gunfight start to come through. Scrap up top. Able to get
See the difference though? There's somebody top 3. Like, you get him off the hill. And when you get the guy off the hill, like, obviously Skies is still in a great spot, but Hill's white. I mean, that's 12 seconds where if they have somebody top 3 maybe, or if he wins that gunfight, it might go towards New York.
Though up top, Kismet following 3 straight kills, and hold on, here we go. Late start here for
okay.
but picking things up quickly.
Much better.
In particular, now just to -4 after being triple negative at one point.
Yeah, he's certainly
somebody get top 3, please. Somebody get top 3, please. Thank you. Okay, this is fine. You hold them in with 5 seconds left.
You just need to make sure you've got someone deep enough to lock down the favorite.
Oh, God. Lost aim assist. I mean, the problem is here, right? You're kind of just floating around. You're trying to catch them on this rotation. Case is going to die. Then they know one player dead through the middle. Like, you have one guy on the hill, one guy red. Like, this roamer, you're hoping at least finds one. But now Hydra's going to be put into a tough spot. Because now he's got to go watch middle alley due to number 4. Right, where Sib is inside of red. Sib maybe is thinking, so you have this guy looking this way. Sib gets caught because he's thinking I'm going to wrap this and maybe help on my teammate, and now it's a 4-on-2. It's a tough one. Kiz gets one there. This is probably cleaner.
Scrap also pistol fight when it comes through. So now all of a sudden, look at the spawn for Kismet. He is in Narnia, and the only one left standing is.
There is a chance here. Sib could do something else. Sib could just leave this, back up, and play sort of a balcony, that balcony heady, and watch this way. He doesn't have to die here. You have Hydra kind of play his life. 2, watch this cross in skies. And then once Sib's done, maybe finding this player can just keep the hill neutral and hope Kismet off spawn gets there. Because as soon as he dies, this is done. Because now number 2 has to watch 2 ways, which good luck. And Hydra's in a fucking staircase, so there's nothing that he can really do to help. Literally 0.
Trouble. Scrap also pistol fight when it comes through. So now all of a sudden, look at the spawn for Kismet. He is in Narnia, and the only one left standing is Skies, and he gets blown away immediately.
And I think, yeah, he's trying to get into a position, but I think he's just got to play a kill there.
Dancing and dodging inside rubble. Scrap also pistol fight.
Skies is like, I don't know what the fuck to do. Hydra's trying to catch a timing, I guess. Yeah, maybe he just thinks it's through the front now and mid. I don't know, but
he is in Narnia, and the only one left standing is Skies, and he gets blown away immediately. And it's just, again, you have to find a kill if you're New York on a setup that looks like that. Toronto once again walk on in for a break. And
this wasn't a great looking. I mean, it was, but
yeah, they can't win it at this HP, but they can get pretty damn
tough
close.
one.
You are the Subliners. You can try to execute a break. It's Hydra hitting a
just hoping your roamer gets a kill.
To at least put a little bit pressure from the front end. He wins the one-on-one. Now you got.
They do fight back well again, though. I'll give them props to that.
It's just, oh man, New York gonna be kicking themselves. That was a picture-perfect setup. Maybe a bit too far forward to be able to lock spawns, but not to get a single kill. It's just inexcusable in a lot of forms, and Toronto are making them pay.
Now, how do you lose this rotation here? They're worried about top 3. It looks like they want to get bridge control because this bridge guy, if we can get bridge, you can either flank through top 3 or you can shoot the guy top 3. You get one on the hill. Skies dies from mid. That's an insane pick. So hill's now open. And there's a trade. Inside gets that player. So yeah, now it's just Kismet inside a red with a sub.
And Toronto are from them in a 3-1 and what would mean a guaranteed 2nd seed position going into their home major, and New York nowhere to be found to contest this. A near 100-point lead.
Phoenix is calling us number 1. Listen, I think for Ultra, there's a couple things to take. Yeah, you're getting some respawn consistency out of Envoy and Insight. Your search though, I'm not sold to beat a phase or an optic. Now they did it at Major 1. Yeah, they're going to have to get better at some search. Respawn's getting there, though. It's definitely better. At least their hardpoint. Let's go ahead and see how their stage finished out here. So Major 3. They have 2 hardpoint losses, 3 search losses, 1 control loss. Now, they didn't have the toughest of matches. They had 2 top 4 teams. Right here, FaZe, which they smoked, and then the New York one. Outside of that, Boston's been in a rough spot. Minnesota's been in a back and forth spot. Carolina's still middle of the pack. Heretics is getting better, and same with LAG, but they played them early in this stage, right? So 2 big. It's not like they had the craziest or toughest schedule. Probably one thing you're just maybe worried about is this phase loss. It was an ugly one. They just lost that invasion control, which we just showed. But again, much better Envoy performance today against New York. And yeah, you win your control. Crazy comeback for New York. I mean, it's probably that map 1 is probably the biggest thing. Honestly, map 1 and 3. This could have easily been a 3-0 for New York, but it's not. It is not. So let's see the brackets for the major for both of these teams. So you finished with the 4, so 4-5. I don't think that's the worst thing for New York. A Thieves team that's 5-2, but getting better, but definitely upset potential. Surge versus Ultra. We didn't see that matchup. Surge is getting better. Both of these teams are like susceptible to some upsets. I don't know if either team's good enough. One thing I will say with Surge is their search is really good. Their search is really good. I mean, Ultra have had problems with FaZe. Well, I mean, everyone really has. I guess everyone's had problems with FaZe and Optic, so setting that up. But yeah, all right, that was Ultra versus New York. Hope you enjoyed. Appreciate you. Thanks for watching the video.